Hi, good morning, Bill.
Good morning, Carol.
Nice to see you here. We've talked a lot, but haven't really spoken to each other face to face.
I know it's great to finally connect. I really appreciate what we're doing here, and I'm excited to make our announcement to everybody else as well.
Okay, well, why don't do you want to go ahead and start and I'll follow your lead?
Yeah, no problem, everybody. My name is Bill Soroka. I'm the founder of NotaryCoach.com, and I'm here with Carol Ray, kind of the queen of Notary and the founder of Notary to Pro. And we are connecting and collaborating to bring more great information to not only new notaries that are interested in becoming mobile notaries and signing agents, but to established agents in helping them grow their business. Carol was kind enough to reach out to me in the spirit of collaboration, and we just instantly connected because we have a lot of similarities and a lot of passion for not only the industry, but the students that we connect with and get to mentor and coach in this business. Carol, maybe you can even share a little bit about what inspired you to collaborate a little bit on a project like this.
Well, when I heard of you, heard some nice things about you from a couple of my students, and I decided to take a look and see what you did. And I just had an instant feeling that you were really a really caring person, that you cared about what you were doing and not just out there to sell something and make a lot of money. It just, that wasn't the vibe. So when we talked that first time, we realized how similar we are in our feelings about the people that we hold their careers in our hands a lot of times, and and are out there to really help people. Both of us are, and so I really enjoyed that, and I thought this would be a great collaboration because we both have so much to add to what people want to learn and want to do, that I thought this would be really something that would be fun and very beneficial to all of the people that we work with. I'd like to ask you a little bit about your background.
Sure.
I don't know a lot about it, frankly, so could you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, I'd be happy to. So, I was a serial entrepreneur pretty much my entire life, and I guess in a lot of ways, I still am. And I have started up to, man, I think I'm up to 27 different business ventures and brands of one kind or another, some with some success. Most of them, of course, were total flops. And that's actually how I got introduced to this signing business. Is I was running several businesses at one time, which I don't recommend, especially if they're not profitable. And mine at the time were not profitable. So I had a friend who was an escrow officer that just said, hey, you should be a mobile notary and you can make some money to help fund your life. So that's exactly what I did. I became a mobile notary. I took to it right away because I had to have it succeed. In order for me to survive and to thrive and to get those other businesses going, I had to make this work. And I was very fortunate in being able to do that from pretty much day one. So I just jumped right in and did it. But I didn't really respect this as the business that it was. I used it as an ATM machine. I made the money I need to make. I literally say, okay, I have to make $5,000 this month. So I go and make $5,000, and then I'd go spend it on my other businesses. And then when that was gone, I'd say, all right, I got to go make $1,000. So I'd go make $1,000 and just do that. And I did that for a couple of years. And those other businesses, of course, they didn't work out that way, funding them that way. So when I was just kind of at this point of like, all right, what's next? I had a very powerful conversation with a friend who just said, hey, why don't you take all this business experience, all this stuff you're learning, and apply it to the mobile notary business? And it just was like this epiphany moment for me. And I said, well, shoot, why don't I do that? This has been the most constant and consistent business I've had. It's been there for me when I needed it the most. So as soon as I started focusing and using all that experience and just implementing practical business strategy right into this mobile notary and loan signing business, that's when everything changed for me. This business has been so good to me, both financially and by the people I've met and what it sparks in my soul, that I just had to share that with people. And that's kind of how the Sign and Thrive course kind of became alive as well. It's like, I got to show other people how to do this because You get a flexible schedule, you get a chance to make unlimited money, and it's a totally legitimate business. Something you have to go out and buy inventory for. You don't have to recruit teams. You don't have to be embarrassed when you tell people about it. It's everything that I wanted it to be. That's kind of how I got started.
Oh, that's great.
What about you though, Carol? I have to say, Carol, I was so excited when you reached out to me because you were the first video I ever watched on YouTube about how to be a mobile notary. I watched your video where you do a full loan signing, so I knew your name right away. As soon as I saw it on the caller ID, I was so excited to hear from you. So tell me how you got your start. You've been doing this way longer than I have.
Well, I started, believe it or not, I think I had my first commission in 1960 in California. Went training as an escrow officer. And it was a 3-year training. That was back when we used to do everything from the opening of an escrow to disbursement of funds and closing. Then I had children, stayed home with my children as much as I could, and did things like Avon and Tupperware and everything to kind of help the family out. But I ultimately got back into escrow and retired as an escrow manager after many years. Loved the business, but that being an escrow manager, escrow officer is pretty stressful. Yeah. But then after retirement, I heard about this mobile notary thing because it was really fairly new. We really didn't have mobile notaries, at least for loan signings, until the late 90s, early 2000s, when everything just boomed and there was no room in the title companies for people to do the signings, because I used to do all my signings or my assistants did them. Anyway, after that, it was in 2009 that I really got to thinking about the fact that I was watching really good people that could have been terrific at this job. They were excited about it. They wanted to learn. And honestly, at that time, there was just no training out there, no detailed, what do I do next? What do I do when I knock on the door? All of these details that are so important. And that was when I put Notary to Pro together. And then I spent 2 years begging people to see what I was doing. Nobody paid any attention to me at all. And then all of a sudden, I started getting a few students, some companies that I had worked with had faith in me and started sending me a few students. And I think in the first 2 years, I had 10 graduates. Oh, and wow. Now we've got over 5,000 all over the country.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah. But, oh my God, I just fell in love with this. I started off with the basic course, and I love, my favorite part is mentoring my students. There's no end to it. There's times when I'm, munching on a snack and watching TV at 8 o'clock at night, and I get a call that, oh my God, I'm in a signing, and what do I do now? And I really, really love it. And to watch people who really, really need this kind of a job, they have kids, they have other obligations, to watch them grow from nothing to being happy and successful and taking care of their families, it's very rewarding. So when you and I talked, it definitely just struck me right where my heart is, because I knew you're a man that feels the same way about people that I do. And we're truly out here to do what we can for people and help them to be the best they can be. So
that is so
my
true.
Story, and I'm sticking to it.
Well, and that is so true. I mean, you nailed it on the head, because the best part of the best job, even as a signing agent, I would say that the best part of the job was who I got to meet in those signings. You meet the most interesting people. And then when you're teaching people how to do this, how to basically get their life back, right? Because they're probably leaving a corporate job. They're leaving something that made them miserable, or they didn't get to make the money that they wanted to, or they're sacrificing time with their family. You get to be a part of this business that gets them fired up, and to see that passion in their eyes, and to be there for them when they need you most, like at those signings when they're texting you or calling you from the middle of a signing because there's something that's new. I love that too. I really enjoy that part of it as well. So that's why I'm so excited. And what I love about what we're doing here, Carol, too, is we're practicing what we preach, right? We're always talking about collaborating together, lifting each other up. We're in this together. Let's help each other out, because this is one industry where it's relatively difficult to find people who want to share information. So when you find those people, you want to hang on to them. And that's what we found together. And that's why I'm so excited about what we're doing, guys. So moving forward, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to say is all of that is very true. There is one thing that we have talked about that I want to bring up really quickly.
Yeah.
I know we don't want this to run too long, but you're of another generation than I am. Bill's a lot younger than I am, a lot. But one of the things that we talked about, and I found this over the years, that when I first started doing this, that a lot of my students that were coming were in their 20s, 30s, maybe 40s. But now the students, a lot of the students that are coming to me have been displaced from their jobs. There's absolutely age discrimination in this country, which is very sad. And a lot of my students are in their 40s, 50s, 60s. It's so changed. I don't know what you're finding because you are of a younger generation than I am. What are you finding? I'm kind of interested to know what's the demographic of your students.
It's a pretty broad spectrum, but it is definitely 40 plus and even 50 plus. And often, and I've got a couple in my class too that are 70 plus, which I absolutely love, because really there's no rules about who can do this job. If you're mobile and you're passionate, you can build a business with this. So I think you're absolutely right. There's a shift in the culture of America and in our economy that is requiring people work longer, number one. And this way of being self-employed this way just gives people a lot more options too, because it gets you to that flexibility. If you are over a certain age, like even my age, I don't want to work 14 or 15 hours a day. This business, even though I do usually, but this business allows people to make considerable income in a relatively short amount of time. So in 3 or 4 hours, you can still make a survivable wage. Definitely. So what we found is...
Absolutely. By the way, my oldest graduate is 85.
Wow.
I'm sorry, my oldest graduate is
85 years old. That's amazing.
Still going.
Oh, good. That's great. I love hearing that kind of stuff. So see, guys, anybody can do this. And that's what I think we're really excited about. So we both have our strong suits. Carol, if you've watched her videos, if you've participated in her course, she is meticulous in her details and very passionate about the structure, the organizational, the documents, the real practical side. An excellent teacher. And if you've seen her Notary to Pro course reviews, she's highly, highly rated. And you've got me on this side. I'm real passionate about everything else that helps make the business too. Obviously, the documents are kind of the important part of our business. You've got to be able to do that right. I like to focus on the business and personal development. So basically the sales, finding new customers and clients and becoming who you need to be inside to be a success at this or any other business too. So all of it's extremely important. We're coming together and we're going to start collaborating and start bringing mutual information to you guys, both as experienced mobile notaries and loan signing agents, as well as new notaries. If you are thinking about branching off either part-time or full-time and just want to dive in, we're going to start sharing a lot more information and coming together to bring those types of courses and information to you. Carol, I think that brings us to pretty much the maximum time we were going to spend today. Do you have anything else, any closing statements you'd like to leave for new?
No, just I'm kind of looking forward to this adventure that's ahead of us. I think that we're going to be bringing a lot of value to people and get to share what we enjoy doing the most too. So.
Me too. I am so excited, and I really appreciate you reaching out in the first place and getting this ball rolling. I think we've got some great offerings for people. In fact, our first one is going to be kind of geared towards new mobile notaries and signing agents, but of course, anybody's welcome. We're going to hold that on May 5th. At 8 o'clock in the morning, we're going to do a live webinar on the 5 big steps to becoming a mobile notary and loan signing agent. And we'll have details out on that on both of our websites, which is, Carol, what's your website?
Notary2pro.com.
Perfect. And my website is notarycoach.com. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening. Carol, thank you for joining me on this Sunday morning. And I'm looking forward to everything that we've got going on, and I'll chat with you guys a little later.
I am too. Bye-bye.